Good morning, good afternoon,
Morning.
good evening, wherever you are. How you doing,
Good
Fede?
day. Doing good.
How was
How
your
are you?
weekend?
It was good. I had some dinner with friends. We played poker. It was
Did
nice.
you win?
Yeah, I did.
Tight and aggressive?
No, I don't know. I don't play that well. I'm just patient. But some people is
Yeah.
just okay. Or
Uh,
some were like getting some maybe sleepy, so they say, okay, I'm all in. I want
yeah,
to sleep.
I'm that
So
kind
yeah.
of person where I'm like, the last time I played in a tournament, I was just like, I have to do something for work tomorrow. All in. I kept
Right.
pushing all in. I kept winning, but people are getting upset. So um, I'm easy money.
Yeah.
I get bored. I get
Yeah, it was.
bored of poker because you have
Yeah,
to
it
play
was
like.
like 4 hours long. So yeah, it was
Yeah, it's
a lot of
too
time.
much. My it's like going to a movie that's like Oppenheimer, too long.
Right. Did you watch that?
Although I think I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
Oh,
It
I'm
got
waiting
a.
for.
I always look at the IMDb score for movies. So if it's like seven
Is
five
it
or
good?
above, that's when I'm like, all right. And they got an 8.7, so that's really good.
I watched the. I don't know if I finished it. I started watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones. Did you see that
Oh,
one?
the new one.
Yeah,
How is
it
it?
it has some good animation. I didn't finish, but yeah, it's good. Still watching it.
Is it what platform? It's not on any platform, right?
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. It's okay. I did see advertisements where you can like, rent it or buy it. Didn't see it on any platforms. So I guess you just bought it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I
Good.
have the Blu-ray. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about um, what we've been up to. So did some blog post. So I'm kind of doing daily blog posts from Haley, right? Where I'm generating blogs from her and then posting those. Um, and I just found one like annoying thing was I had to do the formatting. It's like I copy from Haley into Webflow, but then I found that there's a HTML option. So now if you go to our blog site, you can see that it's the same thing as before, but I say Haley, give it to me in HTML. She gives it to me in HTML. I just paste it in,
Oh,
so I don't have to
nice.
do the painstaking, you know, go to every header. It's already like super fast, but I'm like, I want to optimize it more. I'm doing this every day.
Yeah,
I want it fast. So
faster.
now I'm just gonna get an HTML and I'll post it there. It's much faster. Ideally, it would be like Haley can. Um, well, the idea was like Haley could blog about your organization, whatever's happening in the public channels. She'll look at it and be like, "Oh, okay, this is like the problem they're running into. This is how they're solving it. Let's make a blog about it." So if we can get there eventually, once we have semantic search and we have those embeddings, maybe that's something that we can. Uh, I don't know. Maybe Haley will suggest a blog based off of recent post or something.
Yeah.
So did a blog on Saturday, Sunday. I did a blog for myself on Sunday about. I was watching the movie Moneyball on Sunday. You seen it with Brad Pitt?
I don't think so.
So the point of the movie is, back the uh, the A's up in Oakland, they had a very small budget for baseball. This is like 2002, over 20 years ago, and they couldn't compete. They just made it to, I think they made it to the World Series. I think, yeah, World Series against the Yankees, and then they got their butt kicked. And so the next season, the team gets like pretty much gutted. All their star players They did a really good job, so they got paid. The people that their contract was up. So none of those like people stayed around because the A's couldn't afford them, right? They went to the Yankees, they went to the Boston Red Sox, and so forth. So the guy who's being played by Brad Pitt, he's like, I can't compete with these guys money wise, right? There's like no cap. You can spend
Right.
whatever, right? Or there might be some like soft cap, or you get some tax on top of it or something. I'm not sure about Major League Baseball's cap rules. Like in the NBA, you have caps. Like you can't spend more above a certain thing, but there's a bunch of things you can do to get over it, and then you pay a luxury tax. So you pay like dollar for dollar tax or something. Uh, and in baseball, less so. There's spend as much as you want, have a good time. So what Brad Pitt's character, I think it's like Bean or something, Billy Bean or something. His name is Billy in the movie. The actual guy who did this at the A's, he was like, I'm gonna switch. He found this guy that worked for another team. I think it was Cleveland Indians, and he recruited him over to work for him, and they changed it from buying players, instead buying wins. So you don't pay for the players, you look at their stats and you pay for the stats, right?
Okay.
And you don't a lot of like there's a lot of bias before. Like if the baseball player was ugly, it's like, oh, he doesn't look good. We
Yeah.
need a good looking guy. We can't have this, mediocre looking guy playing baseball for us. Or, uh, overpay people for their stats, right? Um, Care too much about defense, being on the outfield versus batting. So then they started buying like hits, walks, that sort of thing. And yeah, you can watch them. It's a good movie
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Very
I
entertaining.
watch.
And so my blog post was about like you get in startups, especially if you're bootstrapped like us, right? Um, you're not if you're not getting $100 million check from VCs, you have to do everything else to compete. Like you're David versus Goliath sort of thing, right? So you have to go and find people that you're not going to hire a guy from Google or Meta or whatever. They're too expensive. You're just not going to get them. So you got to find people in other countries with lower cost of living, or people that are just getting into school but they're smart and bright. Like buy those hits, buy those wins at a lower cost without and then somehow be able to compete with the big boys. So the post was about that. Like, how do you compete when you're the A's and you're up against the Yankees? Like, you have to approach it differently. Um, it's more about the team and how they come together rather than buying like major hitters.
Right.
Not everybody has to be a big time hitter. So that was the blog post there, and I'm just going
That's
to be
nice.
thinking of other blogs to like build my personal brand. My thing will be more focused on like open source startups, that sort of thing. Haley's is more about like semantic search, open source, um, Slack. So we'll do
Right.
articles about Slack. So, and I think next week I have my interview with Slack to be the ambassador for Slack in Santa Barbara. So the guy is super nice. Jacob is a community leader for Slack.
Do you need to
So
study, or it's just like
yeah, I got to read some articles. He sent some articles about like read this stuff before we talk. I've
nice?
done my previous startup, AppScale. We did do like community meetups. That was like we did like for Docker, but before Docker was usable, it was just like straight garbage in the beginning, and then now it's gotten pretty good. But even now, I'm like, Docker's just another layer of things you have to learn to make things work, as opposed to like just learn Python or run the Python app or whatever. Like right now, if you added Docker into our setup, it'd be a more painful process, right? It's not.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna you'd have to like be able to debug Docker issues and know Docker
Right.
commands.
Yeah, it depends on, I think, on how large the app is. If you have like multiple stacks and things, maybe Docker is good. It's just one command, and if you set it up well, it's just one command, and everything should be running.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
So
depends.
yeah, I mean, I was even thinking, I was like, how do we make? Because I installed it, and I ran into the SSL issue because my certs are out of date. Okay, so Slack's cert was like not good for what my root certificates were installed on my laptop. So Googled how to fix that, and it was just pretty much like, "Hey, your Python is outdated." But I couldn't find anywhere that said like, "Oh, just pip install cert something that updates your certs." So I've already updated Python, so now I'm gonna update the certs, and I was gonna push on you whenever you run into an issue. It can be about anything, right? Like whatever you're developing, right?
Yeah.
Explain the problem to Haley, tell her what the solution is, and have her spit out a blog about it, right? And we post that stuff. And when people start, Google will rank the newer stuff higher than the older stuff, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
because your problem is going to be more recent, all the old problems get fixed, right? Like they happen less, right? The new problems are the ones that are like, oh, boom. So if you hit like a problem that's really recent, that like there's no other articles out there that show how to fix that problem, it'll drive a lot of traffic to our
Okay.
website, and somewhat relevant traffic because these would be developers. A lot of developers know Slack, right? So it's also like you get a little bit of brand awareness. And at the end of our post, we have a little mini advertisement for Haley, right? So it's like that. We're also sponsoring. Uh, Haley AI is going to sponsor the local high school baseball team here, so we'll have a
Nice.
banner that says Haley. I need to make the banner. I'm guessing they'll reach out to me for what the banner will look like, but I think baseball doesn't start for a while. We'll have like Haley's head, Haley AI banner at the games, so that'll be cool. And I'm also kind of thinking like so there's tech startups in Santa Barbara. So that's why we're doing like the meetup group in Santa Barbara. I mean, even I don't know. There's probably not that many tech companies in Bahia Blanca, right? If you were in Buenos Aires, I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
Betty, I need you to become the ambassador of Buenos Aires. Probably it's not worth it in Bahia Blanca.
Yeah.
Uh, so kind of trying to like get local people as customers, right? And then expand from there. So that's kind of the game plan. Google Ads. Let me see if I doing a small campaign, just a test to see if people search for a better search in Slack or enhanced search in Slack or best practices in search for Slack or whatever, does that drive traffic to us for a possible product? Because here's the good thing is there's no real competition in what we're doing right now. They might pop up real quick right after
Yeah.
this, right? And there's
Yeah, I saw one yesterday, but I don't know if I saved the
there was an
link.
open source project that was doing like GPT-3 with Slack messages to answer and stuff, but I didn't see any company that was gonna compete.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing. There's not much competition. That's also the bad thing, showing you that you might not have a market, right? Like if it because most things, very rarely do I come up with an idea where no one's done it before, right?
Yeah.
Um, the stuff that I've done in my life that I've been a first where no one else did it before, it was because it was this open source version of such and such. So we were the one of the first open source platform as a services when we came out with AppScale. I was the first ever open source gamification platform. Like you can add points, badges, that sort of stuff. No one else was doing it at the time. I was the first to do Hadoop job on a supercomputer at Lawrence Livermore National Lab because I had access to it, and they gave me like oh no, it was on Fusion IO drives. There's like a company from Wozniak that he was doing
Yeah.
these like PCI Express high throughput, high bandwidth cards for storage. And so they had like a 60, 80 node cluster. Then I got to run Hadoop on it. And Hadoop was running like 10 times faster on
Oh,
this cluster than on regular stuff. So stuff like that. And then the research papers that I did, that, that's not like a product. That's just like
yeah.
research, right? So, although I take that back because there was research that went towards the open source platform as a service. So
Oh,
some of
yeah.
it carried over. So that's why it's really important to run this small Google Ads test. And let me see if it's running yet. Google Ads. No, so it's approved. They submitted the campaign. They approved the campaign. They're eligible to show to customers, but they have this like 7-day learning process. I don't know what the fuck takes 7 days to learn. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's a
guess they're
lot.
collecting. I don't know what. I don't know what the hell Google's doing to delay you 7 days before you start serving ads.
Maybe they check that you're not like spamming or I don't know,
Well, no,
stealing
they already
information.
approved the
You're
campaign. They're doing
oh,
something algorithmic to
okay.
like optimize how the ad placement is. Maybe the batch workload is so big of how many ads are being run because every Google page is full of ads, right?
Yeah.
So unless you search for search
Smart
for
search.
Slack,
Yeah.
smart search, then there's no ads. I don't know if Google's just like not showing it to me, or I don't know. Do you see ads when you
Let me see.
search for better search in Slack?
No, no ads.
Yeah. So this is like that's good because the test will be cheap, right? We're not competing. Usually it's a competition, so these ads should be like a penny, right? Because no one else is paying
Yeah.
for them. Um, so we'll see if it drives traffic, and then there's actually a need. If we serve up 1,000, 10,000 impressions and no one clicks on it, then we need to reevaluate our lives.
Yeah. We need to pivot.
uh, we well, or hey, just cut it and then start implementing something else that can provide
Right.
value. I'm not saying like uh, give up, just figure out a different problem to solve.
Hmm.
Because we are our competition is Slack, because Slack is doing AI, GPT, and like smarter search where you can ask questions about your data. So um, I think if their search is like super awesome, right, and blows us out of I mean, their current search isn't that great from all the people I've seen complaining about it, right? So
Nah, it's just like yeah, text search, like exact words. See.
yeah, so maybe they'll see us and be like, oh, they're doing a really good job. We should see about an acquisition, merge them in, and then we become the search team of Slack or something, right? So that's a if I talk to investors or something, it'd be like, oh, possible acquisitions. So it'd be Slack that they put us into their actual stuff. Let's see your other stuff. Let me look at my list. NSF, right? I don't know if I don't think I announced this, but they accepted our uh, pitch or proposal. Now, or I gave them like a 1 2 pager talking about semantic search, smart search, talking about long-term memory for LLMs, right? Which is what we're trying to kind of do here. And then we're taking that problem and applying it. Our solution is going to be for Slack for the commercialization. Now, I think it definitely helps that I have a PhD and I've done this before with NSF, where I went through the entire
Right.
program and we had it was like $800,000 that we got from NSF for AppScale. And I think you can get up to much more than that, and that's grant money, right? So they don't take equity or anything like that. So I'm gonna be working. I'll probably do like the outline today, and then start filling it out. And then Mike will help me. Mike does a lot of program proposals and stuff for the government and defense contractors. So I think he'll have a good eye for that also. So you have to like really weigh when you're proposing to like NSF. It's got to be like a tough problem that you're trying to solve, right? So we have to like show it's a tough problem. What are we thinking to fix it? We're doing it open source, so we're giving back to the community. Anybody can go in there and see our algorithm so they can apply it for their problem also. So it's betterment of society. And then they also want 3 letters from like potential customers.
Oh,
So I need to find. I think I have 3 people now that I could probably talk to, but the higher the profile of the person that I can get,
that's better. Yeah.
if I get Elon Musk writing about how he needs semantic search for Slack, right? That's gonna be like, oh wow, okay, as opposed to like I have the janitor of Upboredom write the letter. So so that was good news. So we are going to cut Ralph altogether. So I'm going to remove him from the website. I mean, he's been out, and I think I've given him a long enough chance to come back, which sucks because I feel like we're starting to see traction. I don't know if you noticed that now, right? Like people are installing. It's not even in the App Store yet, right? We haven't even approved, and some people are like finding us and installing it. And we're not doing any advertisements. We're not spending any marketing dollars. And so we're just kind of doing all the free stuff, right? That we can try to get traction. Like my follow, unfollow on Twitter, or liking people's comments and they follow us, or building up our TikTok and that sort of stuff. So people are, starting to see. And then, I mean, if we're full blown doing everything with the Slack ambassadorship, with advertisements, with paid marketing, we haven't even kicked off our affiliate program, right? So we got a lot in the pipeline to blow this out. But it all starts with like, is this a problem that people really have? And is Slack going to go and eat our lunch? Right? This is actually a problem where if you build on top, this is a problem with Amazon. If you like sell on Amazon, you're really popular. Amazon was like, oh, you're making so much money. It'd be a shame if Amazon Basics did that too.
Yeah.
And it's the top of your list, right? So this happens. The big players come in and just crush the small players by just copying their business, and like it's not fair, but that's life, right?
That happens.
When you're building on top of some other platform. So I did reach out to our Slack developer advocate, Jim. Remember Jim? I don't know if you ever reached out to Jim. But I had reached out to him to partner, right? I was like, hey, Jim, we're looking for partnerships, partner with you guys. We're doing GPT. And then he's like, oh, we're not doing anything GPT related partnerships. And then the big announcement with Chat GPT and OpenAI came out. I was like, okay, I get it. You're not partnering people because you have a big partnership. So this time I was like, hey, Jim, I understand why you didn't want to partner, but we're doing this other thing. Blink twice if you're going to, you already have something else going on that's going to take over this. But even they're just announcing it this week at Dreamforce. They might have already, I think it's kicked off like 8 minutes ago. So this whole week, if you get it, I don't know if they're streaming it, but if there's like Slack talks that you want to watch, I would.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah. So they're going to announce it. That doesn't mean that it's going to be released right away to everybody, right? So we'll still have this window where we can build up our reputation, right? And I would like to just like we really hone in on search and make the best search possible. But at some point, there's gonna be diminishing returns. Like, okay, what we can't think of anything else to make it better, right? It's too awesome already.
Yeah.
Then we'll start working on other stuff also. So, um, Impact got back to us. Did you see the email?
Yeah, I was about to reply them because yeah, they're asking for some metadata in some events, but we don't have control over those events. I asked like on one of our first threads
Mm-hmm.
if it was okay of me adding the metadata in the checkout session, and they said that that was okay. And now they are asking for something different. So yeah, I will
Okay.
reply them.
Well, hit them up. So, in terms of priority, well, what are your priorities in your head to work on?
Uh, Impact. I recorded the videos. I need to edit them just to cut some things,
Okay.
so we can upload them to the README, and then I need Yura to ping me to see what I can help on semantic search and start that doing like the UI for the answers.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah,
So if you
I
get
think that
blocked there, the one thing that is on top of my mind is like the seat counting. Like a poly does.
oh yeah, I like detecting the amount of seats. Yeah,
Yeah.
I investigated that, and there was there's no like direct API. It's like a workaround, like to check how many users are on the general channel. That's you get automatically added to that channel once you
Hmm.
join the workspace. So I think we need to do that. I don't know if we need any extra scopes, but yeah, I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Yeah. I also submitted to the Slack store. I think we're in 17. You said seven. No, now 18 because someone installed today also.
Yeah, or even more. I we can't check now because it blocks your app. I don't know why they do that. They don't let you see anything. It's like you can't see anything. It's submitted for review, and you
Oh.
can't. I don't know why.
Um. Oh, the other thing we're working with Sweep AI. Yeah, Sweep.dev. It's a couple of founders. I believe they're YC backed. We installed their app to our GitHub. Got some mixed results. Some stuff worked well. Other stuff, you're just like, what are you doing? As you were commented, no. Shake your
Yeah.
head and like, no, that's not what we're asking for. Uh, we deployed their code. I think we did it wrong. We deployed their stuff on GCP. We reached out to them and said, like, hey, we would contribute this back to you guys if you want. So we have a repo that does Docker file and a cloud build file to have people spin up their own sweep if they wanted to. And
Nice.
the main thing is, so people would want to do this because they don't want their code to ever touch anywhere else, like if it's private, right? For us, it's not that big of a deal, but I really wanted to go in there and be like, let me swap it out for Code Llama, let me swap it out for something else, and see kind of plug and play different LLMs. Did you see the link that Alice shared about the comparison of different LLMs?
No, where was
So
that?
this person took a bunch of different prompts, riddles, and asking about is Taiwan an independent country and like whatever, and see what each LLM would say, and 60 different ones. And there was one question that said, okay, Sally has six brothers. Each brother has two sisters. How many sisters does Sally have? And then they're all like, well, if you do the math, it's 12 sisters. It's this many sisters. It's this many sisters. And according to that, every single LLM got it wrong. Sally has
Oh
one
yeah.
sister, right? So, but someone said on Hacker News, I tried it for ChatGPT 4 and it got it right. So,
Oh nice.
um, that or GPT-4 and they got it right. So it's pretty interesting. Here, if you want to, let me share it with Do you see it in general?
Uh, yeah, Beckmars dot LL
Yeah,
monitor. That one.
throw
Yeah.
that into the comments.
Comments. I don't know why it only sends it to YouTube, but yeah, there it is.
Oh, I can also highlight it so it shows there. It's boom. It shows up on
Nice.
the screen. Benchmarks.llm, LLM monitor, llmonitor.com. Pretty interesting seeing the different questions and how each, this person did it on 60. So there's a lot
There's
of
one
that.
that's like 18 sisters.
Yeah. So someone was like doing multiplication, didn't really think it as a logic problem, thought it was like a math problem. Um, but it was pretty funny. So uh, let's see anything else. So I started doing a new like supplement stack. You know what a supplement stack is?
Nope.
So supplements is like if you're taking vitamins or
Oh,
you're
yeah.
taking protein or creatine or whatever. So I started with there's NMN, which I don't know the actual full acronym, but it's like a thing that boosts your NAD plus levels, which is something that helps you like do gene repair and a bunch of other stuff. And they found that the older you get, the lower it gets, right? So if you boost it, you can kind of reverse aging a bit.
Okay.
So I started doing N&M, which is pretty expensive. Like the bottle of 120 tablets or 90 tablets is like $85 or something. Um, and I kind of did
And
see results, huh?
you take like one a day or more than one?
I take 2 pills a day. But then what I discovered was that there's also NR, which gets you the same effect and it's much cheaper. It's a variant of vitamin B,
Oh, okay.
vitamin B variant. And it also boosts your NAD levels up, but costs much less. It's vitamin B pretty much, right? So I switched to that. What I did notice was after 2 3 weeks, my uh, bench at the gym increased. Like from I was doing like 75 pounders to 95 pounders each end, which is you can do the math for figuring out what it is in kilos.
Yeah.
uh, so I don't know if that was the problem is that you don't know if it's actually the
Yeah, if it's a pill or if it's just you like
it's
progressing and your
it's all
mind.
in my head or
Some
well
placebo
it
effect.
was a substantial jump but like people are stronger than they think they are. That they talk about like a woman saving a child, she lifts a car up or something, right? Like
Yeah.
that ability is inside of you. But some stuff's like, hey, we're not going to let you unlock that because you might really hurt yourself, right? So but if push came to shove and it was an emergency, your body would be like, hey, go for it, like flip this car off of this person and
Yeah.
save them, right? So that I don't think that was the case here. Me doing bench press, it was like I'm not gonna die if I don't do this. Uh, so, but then I was feeling pretty. I told you like last week or the week before, it's like very low energy and like whatever. So I was like, oh, is this stuff like worn off or it's not helping? But I think I was just sick. So now I'm switching over to this NR stuff, which is going to get the same results for the
Nice.
NAD boosting. And then I've been doing this like vitamin supplement that's highly regarded by this one doctor on TikTok. Um, he's more like a natural doctor. We've seen videos of him. He's like
Oh,
majority of people in the United States and probably all over the world are just deficient in certain vitamins, minerals, and so on because our food system doesn't really put nutrition in the food, into the soil, to put into the food that we eat. So, I supplement that, and then I started doing other stuff that I would recommend was like creatine, which I've done before. Also helps get stronger.
And do
Have
you
you done
track
creatine?
your sleep?
Yeah, I track. My watch tracks my
Oh,
sleep.
nice.
So
That's
usually my
important.
sleep is like I sleep 4 to 5 hours at night, and then I sleep 2 hours during the day. Like I'll
That's bad.
crash.
That's bad sleep.
No, I'm awake, but until I crash, right? So, um, I don't know if I'm getting enough deep sleep because my phone app will tell me, REM versus light versus deep. Um, but this morning I woke up automatically at 3:30, and I had
Oh,
like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But then like midday, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. It's actually not very good because those are like could be critical meeting time. We don't have many meetings, right?
yeah.
And I might just have to block that out for napping. But I was hoping, I just can't. I can't stay asleep. I have to get up. Like I'm wide awake. So
Yeah.
laying there doesn't do anything. I just get up and go to the gym. I went to the gym this morning. So other stuff that I've been taking. So there's like peptides that are also like collagen peptides. Those are supposed to be really good at helping you recover and stuff. And what else? Oh, Retrobol, which is like a red grape supplement extract. Also supposed to be saying, you know, anti-aging sort of thing or preventing aging and deterioration. So what I have noticed within this last week, um, play 7 games of volleyball, not tired, like afterwards, in the
Nice.
sun, hot. Played basketball yesterday for 3 hours. At the end, not tired. Usually I'm like fucking beat, and I'm playing
Yeah.
in the sun, like, but just not tired. And then I didn't even feel sleepy during the day, so I didn't even. Usually I take a nap because I crash, but didn't. I think I'll probably take a nap today, but yesterday didn't have to. So, uh, like the creatine, all that stuff does help in
Yeah.
that regard of giving more endurance and that sort of stuff. So I think that'll help when I'm playing basketball in the league. But the league games don't even last that long. I mean, we're talking about 18-minute half to 18-minute halves. But after the game, the next day, I have really bad like Achilles tightness.
Yeah.
Like and I stretch every morning, the runner stretch, but they that's like where I walk all hobbled. So if you see me on the streets, I'm like hobbled, from playing volleyball and most basketball especially beats me up because I'm playing on that hard pavement. Um, but I need so our next game is this Thursday, so I do need to like practice a little bit. And I scored 8 points. Now I got to score more, right? I got to just keep.
8 points is not that bad.
And I did. It was 8 points the first half. Second half, I didn't score at all. Um, so I just need to attack the rim more. But one problem that I have is when I like attack, I use up all my power and energy to get to the
And then you
basket, and
can
then I'm at the
jump.
basket, like, ah!
Yeah.
Just the ball like barely comes out of my hands and like doesn't go in at all, like or badly misses. So I just need to get to there and then be very controlled once I'm at the basket. Uh, I need to, it would be nice if I had like a one-on-one person to play basketball with for practice, especially if they had like a pad, right? It's like
Yeah. So you can.
they
Yeah.
could be bumping me because you get bumped in the game, right? And you still got to like go up for it. And the refs like they're just letting things
They don't care.
go.
Yeah.
They're like whatever, dude. Like
Yeah. Here with like in amateur leagues, the same happens. It's like they are very permissive. Yeah.
yeah, like you have to assault the person. You're like, oh no, you assaulted him. That's
If
actually if
there's
this
no
wasn't a
blood,
basketball game, that'd be a crime.
no blood, no fault.
Yeah, no blood, no foul. So um, we also have Lot. talking to his clients to see if they're going to be interested in. I think they're law firms, so they're looking for AI solutions also. So that might be. He said there's some interest there. Uh, Let me see if there's anything else worth mentioning. I emailed the person who signed up over the weekend, didn't get any response. Maybe he'll respond today. And yeah, that's it. Anything else on your side?
Nope. No, I need to make this impact thing work. So yeah, I will focus on that.
All right, and then today I'm gonna keep going through the dev setup. Um, keep trying to nail it down. I put in links for Python and pip, so there's links on how to install it. That's in the README now. Um, and I asked my brother if he has time to go through that also. And I think Jagrod is going to go through it as well. Um,
I
I
think
think,
we need like add like a first step, like to like clone this repo. Like,
yeah,
we
I'll put
don't
that
we don't
in.
have that, and it's like really the first one when you. I don't
Yeah,
think we
I'll
have
put it
that.
in. Even links like, here's how you use Git.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they just need to. They don't really
Here's
even have
how
to.
to
They don't
turn
have to
on your
even.
computer. Yeah.
You can just download it from the website. So depends what they're trying to do, right? I
Yeah.
think the majority of people they're just trying to get a run, uh, and then maybe a small portion might be trying to hack at it. And so if you're actually trying to hack at it, then you probably know Git.
Hmm. Yeah, you can download a zip. I didn't know that.
So, but I'll add that in. Git link. All right. Catch you later.
All right. Thanks, Raj. Bye bye.